Welcome to the Carter Collection Obsession. I'm Michelle.
And I'm John, and we're here to share our Magic Collection obsession. In this episode, we're going to talk about different types of decks and how we started playing with decks, or how Michelle taught me how to play Magic the Gathering. We started with 4th edition starter decks,
Which I still had from back in the day. Many of them.
Yeah, and unlike the first couple games, we played face up, and she could see my cards, and she was teaching me how you get to play a land each time, and what creatures do, and the power, toughness, and enchantments. And there weren't many enchantments in those decks, and they were pretty basic decks.
Yeah, it took him 3 times, and then he beat me. So then I quit playing with them face up. And I says, now that you can beat me, you're on your own. But yeah, there's lots of different decks you can start with. We started with the 4th edition starter decks because back in the day, I would buy a box of the starter decks on a Friday, and me and my 2 brothers and 2 of their friends, we played all weekend. We would play what we called sealed deck tournaments, where you pick the deck, you open the deck, you played with those cards. That was a lot of fun. They loved it.
Some of the board games, they follow along with the characters, Jays. And
yeah, we have all the board games. They're a little complicated, but they're Magic, so we have to have them.
We got them all
Yeah,
of them sealed.
It's something different than just playing with the cards.
There's a lot of sets that come ready to go, your dual decks and brawl decks, and they're ready to play as is.
Yep, the pre-built commander decks. That's a good way, easy way to learn. You've already got the cards. You don't have to think about them. Someone has already put that thought into building those decks. So it is a great way to learn. And if you're just too lazy to build a deck some weekend and you want to play something different, that's a cool way to do it. We actually are hoping to do something we saw on the show Game Nights, where you take a brawl deck and you get $30, and everybody gets to go and add $30 to that brawl deck. We're going to do that at my brother's one of these days soon, and see what you can do with a pre-built deck that you get to add a little bit to. I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, that's what it's about, having fun with doing it and having a new way to do it.
Yeah, we all got our decks, and we each have, I would say, an average of 10 decks between the 6 of us. So there's 60 different decks. We're switching around all the time. But we do... My brother invented something. He calls it the drunken draft. Because with 6 people, it was taking forever to do a regular draft. So what we do is we take the sealed packs. We open one up, put it face down. We shuffle it, put it face down on the table. And then you have that pile, and you have the pile of lands. And you can either pick from the land pile or the card pile, and then the last person to pick the card out of the actual deck, the next person chooses the next pack, opens it, shuffles it, puts it down, and gets to draw the first card. It's actually a lot of fun.
And it's so quick to do. And
yeah.
When we start off, you can start with as many lands as you want. Usually most people start with 3 lands and 4 cards, and then but it goes a lot quicker than a regular draft.
Yeah, there's just a lot of different ways to play. You can invent your own ways. I know there's Cube. We're talking about trying to get into that. We have not gotten in. We built commander decks. We played once. We haven't got into that a lot.
Right.
So we'll be getting into that hopefully soon.
I have a friend of mine. I keep on trying to tell him to come teach me how to play Commander.
Yeah.
We watch it online too. Game Nights is a good one. They always play Commander.
Yeah, that's what's got us kind of really
and they do it
to
so
play.
detailed.
Yeah,
I
love
they
that
actually
show.
tell you what each card does, and where you don't get lost into it.
Yeah, but it's neat how John met this guy that we want to play Commander with, because we actually were buying cards off of him. He lives about an hour away.
Yeah.
45 minutes, an hour away. But John and this guy, which is also named John, of course, they were both in the Army, so they kind of clicked and they became friends on Facebook, and we just really want to get a hold of him to play Commander, because he keeps telling us he wants to teach us. And although we have the basics down, until you actually play it, you don't really get it.
Right.
I mean, like John said, we've watched so many of the Game Nights episodes, and they play Commander, so we understand it, but...
There's a lot of different ways that you can go with it as far as what decks you want to play, and or you can go online or specialized decks that people play at tournaments, and you can get the list of cards that they play out for that tournament. And and you have the World Championship decks, and they'll tell you what cards they played in the World Championship deck, so you can play that deck.
Yeah, and the funny thing is I build weird decks. I'm a different kind of person. So I don't like going off of the ones online. I build what's some of the weird ones. I have Death by Monkeys. It's all based on monkeys. It's not a great deck, but it's fun. I gotta try and work on it a little more. There's just not a lot you can do with monkeys.
Yeah, Michelle's very creative when it comes to her decks.
Yeah, I don't win a lot, but my decks are fun.
Yeah, you got an Infect deck and a Damn You deck, which is terrible.
Yeah,
I hate playing that one because every time.
Yeah, that's
Wrath of
Armageddon,
God,
Wrath of God,
Armageddon,
Fireballs. Yeah, he does Wheel of Fortune.
Pacificism and Holy Days and
Yep.
just to frustrate me. That's what she does, just frustrate me.
With that deck, I sure do. That's the only deck that really gives him fits. I actually beat him with it this morning.
Yeah, see what I started off with an elf deck, and when I started building the deck, I found every elf I could find, and I found it where it goes together. What's the word that you're
Synergy.
Synergy. It has
Matthew.
good synergy to it because it's set up for a little bit of everything, and it has a lot of draw mechanisms to it. So Josh would love that. Draws cards.
Draw cards. Yeah.
And it's a fun deck to play, but it's so complicated because there's so many triggers.
Yep.
And
I get bored. I walk away and get a drink and let him finish what he's doing, and then I come back and ask what I'm supposed to do.
And I've made several decks since then. All of us made zombie decks for Halloween.
Yeah, that was fun. That was a thing at my brother's. He says we're all going to do a theme deck. So we all did a zombie deck. But everybody has different things. Like, I like to play spells more than I do like to do the battles, where John loves the battle. So each one of us built a zombie deck, but they were all so different. That was a lot of fun. Yeah,
And
at
we've
Halloween.
had to play underneath the lanterns and
Yes, and had
a
a fog machine going. That was probably the coolest thing.
and
Yeah.
they all got dressed up for it.
Yep.
We dressed in our magic shirts, but
My brother and his wife did it up good.
yeah, they did Dracula. And,
They did great. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Yeah, we just themed the whole day because it was Halloween. That was fun.
and that's what we like doing. We like going up there and playing all night.
Yep. All weekend.
Yeah, all weekend.
Well, if you enjoyed our video, like, subscribe, and share.
And find us on our Facebook group at Show Me Yours. I'll show you my Magic the Gathering collection.